Heya Cryptozens, it's 10 p.m. Pacific time. My name is Nikodemus, and welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice.
And it's Saturday night, 10 p.m. on January 7th, 2023. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has created a website. This website has information about the rights of victims in the fraud case involving Sam Bankman-Fried, and it encourages them to cooperate with authorities. So they've invited victims of the FTX collapse to come forward through a website that was launched today. This website includes an email address for victims to use to communicate with the office, as well as a list of victims' rights. The office has invited those who want to verify their status as victims to contact the witness and victim coordinator. Legal teams managing the bankruptcy process in the U.S. and the Bahamas for the FTX decided to work together in order to maximize the recovery of stakeholder funds. Up until recently, they've been butting heads and stepping on each other's toes. Well, now they've decided to stop fighting each other and start working on making the victims whole. To that end, FTX's management is trying to get back millions of dollars in charitable donations. These are donations made by Sam Bankman-Fried and the Future Fund. And we've talked about this before. Clawbacks are going to be a thing. It's going to be sad for some charitable groups, but it's already sad for the people that Sam stole from. According to the Wall Street Journal, FTX's management is trying to get back millions of dollars in donations made by Sam. The charity arm of FTX, called the Future Fund, has given more than $160 million to over 110 nonprofit organizations at the end of September. These organizations included biotech startups and university researchers working on COVID-19 vaccinations as well as pandemic studies. It also included nonprofit organizations in India, China, and Brazil. According to the report, the Future Fund gave $3.6 million to a company working on a genetic vaccine platform. They also donated another $5 million to the Atlas Fellowship for Scholarships and high school summer programs in San Francisco. A spokesperson for Bankman-Fried stated that the charitable donations were not made from customer deposits, but from trading profits. The charity arm of FTX was announced in February of 2022, and it planned to give out over $100 million in the first year, with an eventual goal of reaching up to $1 billion in donations. And even though crypto prices fell, the donations didn't stop. On September 23rd, the Future Fund's Twitter profile announced that a substantial fraction of their capital would be used for research and initiatives focused on risk management for artificial general intelligence. Prizes up to $1.5 million were offered, as well as thousands of dollars in rewards for people who provided the best critiques of their views on the future of artificial intelligence. According to U.S. prosecutors, FTX's donations to political parties and candidates are also being investigated. Sam was the second largest donor to Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. He gave $5.2 million. Now, clawback provisions may require businesses and investors to return billions of dollars paid out before the exchanges collapse. FTX's new management has said that a number of recipients of contributions or other payments have already approached the company to return the funds. In the meantime, the SEC is looking into whether investors in FTX followed proper procedures when investing. The SEC is also investigating whether those investors conducted sufficient research before investing. Now, this report didn't say which companies are being investigated. The investigation is not necessarily implying wrongdoing. Instead, it's focused on whether the companies fulfilled their responsibilities to their own investors. The feds already have a pretty full plate. Now, remember the other night when I was talking about Winklevoss and Silbert getting into it on Twitter? Things don't seem to be going well for the DCG group. In fact, federal prosecutors are investigating transfers between the Digital Currency Group and its Genesis lending unit. Additionally, the SEC is also said to have begun a probe. According to a report by Bloomberg, they're looking into the flow of funds between DCG and Genesis. This report said that federal prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York are also looking at those transfers. Now, it should be noted that the criminal investigation began before the collapse of FTX in November. Even so, These investigations are still in their early stages, and neither the Digital Currency Group nor any of its divisions have been accused of wrongdoing. It is also unclear what specific activity is drawing scrutiny. A company spokesperson said, quote, DCG has a strong culture of integrity and has always conducted its business lawfully. We have no knowledge or reason to believe that there is any Eastern District of New York investigation into DCG. Last year's events in the cryptocurrency market have had an impact on DCG. Genesis lent more than $2 billion to Three Arrows Capital, and we know what happened to them. In more recent events, the bankruptcy of FTX in November led Genesis to support redemptions. In the meantime, U.S. authorities are also requesting information from investment firms about Binance. The Binance Chief Strategy Officer stated that the firm is regularly interacting with regulators from around the world. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Washington reportedly sent subpoenas to U.S.-based hedge funds asking about their relationship with Binance. There is already an ongoing investigation into Binance by U.S. authorities. It should be noted that this does not necessarily mean that the firm has done anything wrong. The exchange, however, has faced some criticism in the past, including an investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice into its compliance with U.S. anti-money laundering laws back in 2018. The Binance Chief Strategy Officer stated that the firm is regularly interacting with regulators from around the world, but declined to comment specifically on any ongoing investigations. Two individuals who promoted the 4-count crypto Ponzi scheme have been arrested and charged with fraud. Now, one of the individuals is a 64-year-old Spaniard named Nestor Nunez. He was arrested in Spain on December 28th. The other individual, a 40-year-old U.S. citizen named Ramon Perez, now he turned himself into authorities in Orlando on Friday. The DOJ is seeking to have Nunez extradited to the U.S. to face charges. Meanwhile, Perez is accused of tricking people into investing in this alleged scam. He allegedly hid his actions by transferring money through fake companies and real estate. Prosecutors say that Nunez was paid by the leader of the scheme, Francisco da Silva, to pretend to be the CEO of 4count under the name Salvador Molina. Da Silva and 3 other people involved in 4count have already been charged with breaking securities laws by the U.S. SEC. The alleged scheme took place from 2017 to 2021, and like pretty much any Ponzi scheme, it involved a group of people who encouraged others to invest in the platform. The platform promised high returns based on profits from fake mining and trading. The people in charge of the scheme, including Da Silva, used money from investors to buy expensive items for themselves and to promote the fake investment. Most of the people who invested lost all of their money. So far, Perez has been charged with 3 crimes: conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. If he is found guilty, he could be sentenced to 60 years in prison. Nunez has been charged with 2 crimes: conspiracy to commit wire fraud and wire fraud. If he is found guilty, he could be sentenced to 40 years in prison. Mastercard is working with Polygon to assist musical artists in entering the Web3 space and creating their own NFTs. Mastercard revealed that it would use the Polygon blockchain to launch its Mastercard Artist Accelerator. This announcement was made at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. The program aims to assist musical artists in creating NFTs, increasing their online presence, and building a community. The accelerator will conclude with a live-streamed artist showcase at the end of the year. Mastercard did not specify which artists would participate. We do know that Mastercard intends to use the accelerator to connect artists worldwide with mentors in Web3, as well as creating a space for musical content creation, collaboration, and ownership. Mastercard announced that the Mastercard Artist Accelerator will begin in spring of 2023 and will support 5 emerging artists, such as musicians, DJs, and producers, in developing their careers in the digital economy. The accelerator will provide participants with resources, skills, and access to help them succeed. Mastercard will also offer a limited edition NFT called the Mastercard Music Pass. This NFT provides holders with exclusive musical educational materials, resources, and other physical and digital experiences. Which makes me wonder if this thing is going to be soul-bound, or if this pass can be transferred or sold to a different artist. Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow plans to leave her position in January of 2025. Stabenow was behind cryptocurrency legislation that would give the CFTC exclusive jurisdiction over the market. This bill was supported by Sam Bankman-Fried and was referred to as the SBF crypto bill. Stabenow did say that she has been inspired by a new generation of leaders and has decided not to seek re-election. Her term will end in January 3rd, 2025. Stabenow has said that her main focus for the next 2 years will be the well-being of the people of Michigan, as well as creating job opportunities in urban and rural communities. She also plans to continue serving Michigan after leaving the Senate and to spend more time with her family. In August of last year, Stabenow worked with Senators John Boozman, Cory Booker, and John Thune to propose the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act. This potential bill aims to give the CFTC more power to monitor the cryptocurrency sector and protect consumers from fraud. However, some people have expressed concerns that it could have negative effects on decentralized finance. It's a damn DeFi killer, to be honest. Sam Bankman-Fried was a vocal supporter of the bill. He reportedly donated over $56,000 to Senator Stabenow and related funds. I wonder if those are going to be clawed back. Other former executives of FTX, such as Ryan Miller and Zachary Dexter, also made contributions to Stabenow. Sam made donations to other lawmakers, including Senators Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, Cory Booker of New York, Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire, and Susan Collins of Maine, and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. There have been reports that he may also have tried to bribe media outlets to portray him as a humble person who ran a legal business. Tesla CEO Elon Musk commented in December that if SBF was as good at running a cryptocurrency exchange as he was at bribing media, FTX would still be solvent. And that's going to do it for us on a very short news day. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. We'll see you tomorrow night.